Hey, welcome to Clarksville Vibe the show where we tell the stories about people here in Clarksville, Tennessee who make this community the best place to live in America. I'm your host, Kevin Kennedy Jr., pediatric dentist here, and I'm really excited about today's guest. Of course, I love Austin Peay, the university. I love Austin Peay Athletics. Got to be a student there, and of course, one of my favorite things right now with my young family is to take them to Austin Peay athletic events. We've got one of our men's basketball players, Anton Brookshire, here as our guest today. Going to talk about the Austin Peay men's basketball program, tell us a little bit about how they're doing it. We're recording it right around early part of Christmas season, December 2024. So as they head up into conference play, going to be excited to hear about what their journey as a program has been in the off season, and then what it's like to play for Austin Peay. Thank you for checking out this episode. As always, like, subscribe, hit whatever follow button you can. But Anton, man, this is really exciting.
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for taking time to be here today.
Yes, sir, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've got to give you credit. You know, you got like 1 day notice on this
Right.
thing, right? Yeah, so it's
I did.
show up, smile, and just represent the program, right?
Right. I mean, shoot. I mean, I think that's better than anything. You know, Travis told me, yesterday, and so with 1 day prep, I came and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So,
Yeah, why not, right?
Why not? Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome. Well, man, I've heard nothing but awesome things about you from the program, from the leaders in the program. Heard how you're a leader. You know, this is your second year in the program and how you played such a critical role in kind of maintaining the culture that Coach Gipson's trying to build going into year 2 of his time here at the program. Heard you're a guy that's all about business, but you really love to have a good time too. So I'm excited to kind of get to know you a little bit more and hear, what it's like. So I think for our audience, everybody lives here in Clarksville, but tell us what's special about Austin Peay men's basketball.
I think the main thing is our culture. Like, we are we like to take care of business, but what people don't see is the culture that we create and that we build on the court, off the court is very special. Like, we have a lot of guys, that come from a lot of different areas. But, like our Spain trip, went on our Spain trip, and that was like really our first time ever playing together. And so, going out the country, it's a lot of people first time going out the country. And that was very special for a lot of the players. I know that was my first time going out the country. And so just going out the country, making these, big transitions. We got some players that has never played Division I. We got some players that has never, been to Clarksville, Tennessee. And for people coming from a different lot of areas, for us to just be able to come as one, I think that's the main thing. Now, when I say our culture, we have a foundation where, we got our 3 pillars. We got brotherhood, servanthood, unconditional love, right?
Yep.
And so with those 3, I feel like that has really been the main thing that has been in everybody's mind, and trying to just build on those 3.
Yeah.
And just, having fun with everything.
Right.
Like, we have tough times, we have certain players have, tough days and stuff. And, far as us being brothers, we feel like we can go to each other and just communicate with each other whenever we having those rough times. So I think the people that's out there, if they ever wanted to know how it is at Austin Peay or being just on the team, we just have fun. We go out, we play our hearts out. We give everything we have, and we try, we stay together.
Yeah. What's really interesting about what you just said, I had Coach Gipson on the podcast a year ago, kind of, it was after he'd taken the job, and I can't remember what part of the season it was. Maybe it was right before the season started. But he said the biggest thing that he wanted to talk about was brotherhood, servanthood, unconditional love. And, what's really common in college athletics is some coaches want to establish a culture that's kind of gimmicky year by year. Right. It's a new statement. It's new this. Right. It's like, oh, let's just get your attention. Like, it's kind of meant for social media, right? But Coach Gipson is not really that kind of guy. Right. When his core values, are consistent from year to year, and that's the first thing you said about your program. Right. I know that he's talking about those 3 things, because we didn't talk about that before the episode started. You're coming here and saying, this is who we are as a team, as a culture. And I'll tell you, it is a blessing for you to be a part of that as a young man, because whenever you take your first job or you own a business or you do whatever, you've got a really solid foundation to move into adulthood now with this, hey, we can establish who we are, and we can have fun, and we can have great results and look for wins or look for this. But who we are defines what we do. Our values direct our behaviors.
Right.
And it seems like you're learning that, and everybody in the program's learning it.
Right. And I think I can give a huge shout out to like the players, right? So we had, a lot of new players come in, right? And all the players that have came in has been very authentic, and they have been themselves, right? And so when they came in, we didn't, me and some of the returning players, we didn't have to, this is what we stand for. This is what we do. This is what we pushing for. They came in their authentic self, and they just fell in line with the three pillars, right?
Yeah.
We had we got good players. We got, they also are good brothers. They like serving, and they have unconditional love for their families, which is easy to translate for the basketball court. And so I think that was just that was pretty easy for them to just fall in line with that.
Well, that tells me that I need to get Coach Gipson to come teach a business seminar, teach us how to do things, because, I had worked with LJ Thomas on a different deal, and I asked Coach Gipson, hey, can you tell me some words that would describe him? And, Coach Gipson to me doesn't always seem like a exclamation point kind of guy. He gives big energy, but I didn't expect him in a text message to like come back with a bunch of exclamation points. And he said about LJ, core values guy. He's what we were. And it's like, I just know the values that come from him and the assistant coaches, the support staff. It goes to the players. You hear this a lot, but like a coach-led team is only going to go so far.
Right.
A player-led team that's holding each other to the standards, those are championship teams.
Right, right. And with you saying that, I really do think that we have a great player-led team. We have, our two captains. We have Isaac Haney and Say Witt. Those two guys do a great job. But outside of that, we also have, great players and great leaders on our team as well. So like we hear voices from, all the players, and we do a great job listening to each other. Yeah. Because that's the number one thing. Like you can't dish something out and can't take it. So we do a great job of listening to each other.
What are this team's goals this year? Because it's, I would imagine coming in last year, it's Coach Gibson's first year. I don't know if there's 12 people on the roster, but it seemed like it was 12 new people last year, right? You're there last year, and you have an amazing run. I've been at hundreds of Austin Peay basketball games, and the tournament game last year at F&M Bank Arena, where one of your players basically just put the entire team on his back in the second half and willed, like that was just what we all felt as a community. Like this team just wills themselves to victory.
Right.
Like how did you pull that off?
Yes.
And you did it.
Right.
And you guys made an incredible run last year, achieved maybe more than you expected, but now here you come in with a lot of leadership that returns, but now you've got new players coming in. How do you go about establishing goals for like, what do we want for our team this year?
I think we have a lot of guys that want to be winners. Yeah. We already have some guys that have won in their past. But our main goal is just to win. Come out every night and fight. Give ourselves a chance. We put in a lot of work, preseason. We still do to this day. Like this morning I had a workout with a couple of the players, 6:30 a.m. Right back at it, practice at 9. Got another workout whenever I leave here. So and
that's player led.
Right.
That's you guys deciding on your own.
Yes, sir.
Go get some work in.
We put a lot of work in, but we also, even though it's player led, we still do a great job listening to the coaches. Right. So like we get a lot of credit from the coaching staff, but as players, we also have to give them credits because they put us in the route to be successful. Sure. So, I mainly just think that, it comes, a lot with, preparation, us just putting the work in. And so this year I do think that everybody's main goal is to go to the big dance, and actually win games in the big dance. I know it's a difference between just getting there and not doing anything, but going there and making a little noise. I think that's our team's goal. I know when I was at Iona, we went 2 years ago. We had went with Coach Rick Pitino. I had went, and man, it was a great experience. One of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my life, just on the basketball court. Like some of the smiles that you see from some of your brothers that they might not be getting the time that they getting throughout the whole season, but just to see them smile and put on one of them hats, man, it was like it was amazing. So
that's awesome. Well, you can cast that vision to your teammates. Right. Now. Like I've experienced it. I know what it's like.
Yes,
I know what it takes to get there.
Right.
You mentioned a lot of hard work. So I want to kind of back us up. Let's put our off-season hat on, right? So for people who aren't tied into basketball season. What's an off season look like for you guys?
Oh man, shoot. Mainly just, a lot of team stuff.
Okay.
We do like we would come in and get our extra individual workouts, but a lot of the stuff Coach Gip has did, it go back to our pillars, brotherhood, right? So if we're gonna go through this hard time, take a hard time, if we're gonna put in this work together, we all need each other.
Is that physically hard?
It just depends. It can be physically hard, but majority of the time it's mainly mental. Like, you see your brother tired, go pick him up.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the main thing. Like we did a lot of conditioning stuff. Yeah. Tire your body out. You need your brother to come pick you up. Mm-hmm. And we also did a lot of, physical stuff too in the weight room. Yeah. Coach Rob Harris, he does a great job with, getting us strong and trying to get us to that next level. And so I think it was just mainly just a lot of, working out, putting that time in, and also relying on your brothers when you need them.
Yeah. How much in basketball is the mental toughness developing the fundamentals? Because, I'm not a basketball guy. I'm like 5'7", so I had zero chance. But what I hear from basketball guys is the repetition, the numbers of reps that you get, shots per day, free throws per day, just working on the fundamentals. I would think that that's mentally taxing.
Right. And so how I was raised up and worked out with my uncle Rob Yanders and Sylvester Yanders. When you working out, that is the game. Right? So whenever you working out, this is the game. You take care of now and what's later will come. And so just working hard every day, putting that time in so that way by the time game comes, it's like, this is the fun part now. Yeah. I see some players that gets like they get a little shocked and nervous come game time. Yeah. When they start seeing certain stuff because, when you're a little nervous, it's probably because you ain't put enough time in or you probably worried about what if this happened? Yeah. Well, if you didn't put in enough reps, like you said, and you didn't put your mind to it, come game time, I'm prepared. Mm-hmm. It's time to do it. Yeah. I done been around my brothers. We done been together for so long. We didn't put in a lot of deposits. Coach Gip like to say a lot of deposits. We put in a lot of deposits. So now when we're all together and we go out on that hardwood, this is the easy part.
How did you develop a confidence that the deposits were going to create results? Is that like you said, your uncles are coaching you, your coaches are coaching you. They're building this mindset in you, or you feel like it's something you had internally?
I think they built that mindset on me, right? I don't think.
Man, what a gift.
I don't think no one can just snap and think they just did it on their own.
It's funny. I got to tell you this story. So I've got two girls at home. Both are playing basketball now, just recreationally, right? So like I said, we're December. This past Saturday morning, I'm pretty sure it was in the 20s. Like it was cold. And my 7-year-old, I don't know. I mean, I'm so excited to see what she does in life, but she wanted to go out and shoot, right? She's got a game at 1:00 in the afternoon. Well, it's like 9:00 in the morning. She wants to go outside. I'm like, I don't want to be a responsible dad. Like, you got to go out there with a jacket on and pants and this and that. She's like, no, I want to wear shorts. I'll wear a jacket, but I want to go make 25 shots. And I was like, okay, go for it. And it was so cold. I didn't even go out there and watch her, man. Right. I'm ashamed to say it. But she was out there. She went out there and made her 25 shots. She comes back in. Her fingers are like frozen to the bone. She's like, Dad, feel this. Puts her hand on me. It's frozen, whatever. Right. Well, she gets to the game at 1:00 and it didn't turn out the way she wanted to. She didn't play as hard. I know it sounds crazy because she's 7, but she gets in the car afterwards. She didn't make her shots in the game or whatever, didn't do as well as she thought she was going to do. She's like, I put in, she said, I tried so hard and made all these shots and it didn't matter. And so it was just a weird moment as a parent where I was like, I've got to step up and cast this vision for her that the work is the game. Like I'm going to use that language next time it comes around and tell her I got it from you. But I was curious where that just transitioned in your head, because I think as you're a maturing adult, that the work can translate. Right. And if you hit a cold session or you just get cold for a bit. Like, it's going to turn around. Shoot or shoot. Just keep shooting.
Exactly.
But it was funny, like, hearing you say that, having this experience with my 7-year-old where she felt like that one morning of work didn't result in the game. It's like, oh, I'm not doing that again.
Right.
But it was, you'll find out in life, parenting will stretch you in ways you didn't know. What is it like playing for Coach Gipson? And I'm going to ask you that question. Let me give you the context of it. He and I were at campus the same time. So I was a freshman the year that they went undefeated in conference play. And I had watched him as an assistant coach here previously. We had a personal relationship at that time and watched him kind of join the ranks. And he's such an interesting leader to me. I'm curious what it's like from a guy like you, not originally from this area. You get recruited by him to come from Iona. What did you expect, and what's that been like? Developing that relationship with him as a head coach.
Right. So it's crazy because when I was fresh out of high school, well, my senior year in high school, I was being recruited by Missouri State. Okay. Coach Gipson was an assistant coach at the time.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I ended up committing to Mizzou.
Okay.
Let me take it back a little bit. I went on a visit to Missouri State. Coach Gipson was the guy that took me on my visit there, pretending as in he was the guy that showed me everything. Yeah. Like, here's the locker room, here's the weight room. Wow. So he was like my tour guide of the visit and stuff. And so I went on the visit and stuff, and I was just like, I don't know, it's a little too close to home. Sure. I'm like, I just want to get out a little bit, not too far, but I'm gonna get out a little bit. So I ended up committed to Mizzou. Had a great year there, had a great, experience and stuff like that. Everything you go through in life, you always find the good in it. Yeah. So I had a great experience there. Ended up transferring. My head coach, Conzo Martin, got fired. I transferred to Iona. Yeah. Coach Rick Pitino was the head coach.
Man, you played for some great coaches.
Boom. So within all that span, when I entered the transfer portal at Mizzou, Coach Gipson gets the job at Northwestern. Okay. I'm working out at my Uncle Rob's gym. I end up getting a call from Coach Gipson. He gets recruiting me again. I'm like, oh, man, like, just to run all this back, I'm going to come back where I left off.
No, you're good.
Coach Gipson is like a family guy to me. He's more of a, like you said, leader, a uncle in a sense. Mm-hmm. Just a great guy. So, boom, let's get back forward. Try to recruit me at Northwestern. I was like, I don't know. Like, it always been in my head that I don't know. I just don't know. And so I ended up committing to Iona. Had a great year there. Went to March Madness. Coach Rick Pitino, Hall of Fame coach, whatever. Had a great experience. Coach Pitino ended up wanting to go to, he goes to St. John's. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know. I can't stay this far. Like, now I feel like I'm a little too far from home. 13 hours. My family never got to come to a game. So I'm like, I'm in the transfer portal again. Coach Gipson called me. I'm like, okay. I think just now's the time. So I'm going through the recruitment process. I'm like, what's up, coach? Anton, answer the phone. Anton, what's going on? So we going through this whole process. I'm like, what's up, coach? Man, nothing, man. I like everything I've been seeing. Y'all been recruiting you for 2 years now. Just going through the whole recruitment thing. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know yet, coach. I'm gonna give you a call back by, Friday. I still had a couple visits coming up. I had a visit to Wake Forest, some other places that Friday. Yeah. And so I hung up the phone. Coach Gibbs was like, all right, I'm gonna need a for sure answer by this day. Mm-hmm. I think it was Friday. I had my visit to Wake Forest on Friday. It was Tuesday. Coach Gipson called me back Wednesday. I need an answer before I hang up this phone. I said, Coach, I understand that, but also I'm gonna talk to my uncle real quick. I said, Coach, let me call you right back. I'm gonna call my uncle. Yeah. I hang up on Coach Gipson. I say, Coach Gipson. I say, hey, uncle. I just got the phone with Coach Gipson. I don't know what I should do. I want to make sure I make the right decision this time. Yeah. He goes, you talking about Corey Gipson? I said, yeah. Our family friend? I said, yeah, uncle. He like, man, that ain't even no question with me. Wow. Hung up on me. I called Coach Gipson back. So what's up, Coach? How'd the call go with your uncle? Mind you, him and my uncle was like this. Okay. Like tight. Yeah. And so he's like, how'd the call go with your uncle? I'm like, he just hung up on me. I told him I was talking to you. He hung up on me. He said, so what we gonna do? So I got to tell him like what sounds exactly like him. So I got to tell him like, what I had coming up. I was like, I Coach, I got a visit to UW Milwaukee coming up. I got a visit to Wake Forest. He said, when is that visit to, his exact words, when is that visit to UW Milwaukee? The UW Milwaukee visit was before the Wake Forest. Wake Forest on Friday.
Right.
UW Milwaukee was on Thursday. I had a quick turnaround. Both of them booked the flights. He was like, when's that Milwaukee, you're going to visit?
Yeah.
I said, Coach, it's Thursday. He said, you might as well go and cancel that. I said, all right, Coach. So I was like, hey, Coach, just give me like 5-10 minutes. I need to just think on this real quick. Hung up with him. I kid you not, in New York, I had like a spare room. I literally walked in 3 circles around the room. I'm like, and I just knew Coach Gill would always do right by me, family friend. And I know that I will always work hard from him and earn, earn and deserve what I worked hard for. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, you know what, skip it, I'm going to do it. I called Coach Gipson back. I said, Coach Gip, I'm committed to Austin Peay. He said, you say what? Him and my uncle had this language. They were like, say what? Play with it. Yeah, okay. And so he was like, say what? And I was like, play with it. Yeah. And so he ended up hanging up on me. I FaceTime him. I'm like, nah, Coach. I said, I'm committed to you. Yeah. And I'm on Facebook. He's driving, so he's like, man, I'm going to get that edit made right now. You better put it up on your page. Yeah. So I called my uncle back. I told him what I did. My uncle break down crying on the phone. He's like, man, I'm proud of you, man. That's a huge step. I love Corey Gipson. Well, he say Coach Gipson, but he was like, I love that guy. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for him and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, man, Coach Gipson, to me, is more than just a coach to me. And so, like, what people don't realize is, and I know he probably wouldn't, I don't know if he would care or not, but I told him a while back. So, remember how I was telling you, my mom, she passed away a while ago. Then my uncle passed away. Mm. Well, the uncle that I was telling you about was this uncle. Wow. That was super close with him. Man. So my uncle had passed away and stuff, and I had to talk to my auntie. My auntie was like, my uncle he has a lot of close friends, but she was like, I think I'm gonna have Coach Gipson speak at his funeral. That's and so powerful. I was like, that's powerful. Me without even thought, I was like, that's great. Yeah. Because if anybody knew my Uncle Rob, they talked every single day, whether it was about business, whether it was about basketball, whether it was about just checking up on each other. They talked every single day. And so Coach Gipson ended up coming to the front. He ended up speaking and stuff. And it's almost like ever since then, it's always been a more than an athlete type of situation with me and Coach Gipson. Like, he busts my tail every day in practice. And there are some days where, I'll catch myself catching an attitude with him, and it's just like one of the relationships where it's like we just tangling each other back and forth. But at the end of the day, I always know that the love with me and him is pure, and I know that he would do anything in the world for me. So to have a coach like that you can go to, tell, if you're having a rough day, go talk to him and just, pour your heart out into him if that's what you need to do. Yeah. I feel like that's a big thing. And so, well,
I can tell you as a member of this community and somebody that's been around Austin Peay a long time, wants to see success, I think this is a universal shared opinion. When we have coaches in programs who love their players, people love Austin Peay more. Really? Like, I'm telling you, they want to be involved. They want to come support. They want to donate, spend money, show up at games, cheer you guys on. And the amount of energy that Coach Gipson has kind of brought, not only because he played here, but because of who he is. Mm-hmm. And, if we sat down with every Austin Peay player and said, what's it like to play for Coach Gipson? The unconditional love, which is what you just talked about, the servanthood that he leads from is, it's going to be mentioned every single time, right. Right. I'm honored that he's here. I love to cheer on the program and I love to see him achieve new things. Man, he absolutely cracks me up. He is a hilarious person to me. His sense of humor is like, once you know him, it's like you really get it. Exactly. I asked him last year on his podcast episode, this will make you laugh. I was like, so what was it like, when Gerald Harrison was kind of talking to you about the job? How did you feel when that moment came along? And he sat back in his chair, took a breath, in his Coach Gipson way, just paused for a second. He says, well, I'll tell you what happened. He said, I was taking the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I'm sitting there like you, like, what did he just say? Like, I'm over here like, he was at the Super Bowl. The Browns didn't play, and then I got it. I was like, Coach, what are you talking about? I was like, you did not have to tell this story right here on this moment. But he's so genuine. Like, he just brings his full self into everything. And, man, it has made me laugh so much thinking about that. And, you know, I was there at the game last year where I was mentioning you guys just fought so hard. And he comes running across, you know, over to the home stands. He jumps up on the table. He's got his military pants on. At that time, he was still wearing the Austin Peay gear. And, man, he was just like swinging his fist. I will never forget it because I was so happy for him because I knew the work that went into building a program that could achieve that type of stuff. And I knew that he knew that it was his team's like grit, servanthood, love for each other, the brotherhood that would fight through games like that. Like I knew the story behind it. And that's when I left the arena that night with my heart full. It was because I was connected to his leadership.
Right.
And when I saw him come across and just pumping his fist like that, it's like, man, I love that guy.
Right.
Like I would play for that guy. And I can't play, you know, but I can't imagine what you young guys feel
a
about it.
little bit of his competitive edge came out as well.
Hey.
He jumped on that table and got a swing in his fist. So I was super excited.
I love it. So this year you guys are transitioning into the season. You got that unique experience you talked about a little bit. You guys got to go to Spain, right? Tell me a little bit about that. Like did you try some adventurous foods there or did you try to stick to what you normally eat?
I mean, honestly, there was a lot of adventurous foods. And a lot of them was very good.
Yeah.
I probably can't tell you the name. There were like some
you can't pronounce
funky
it.
names.
Yeah.
I don't really remember the name, but all I know the food was very good.
Yeah. What was the plane ride like? Was it longer than you expected?
Well, I just told myself I'm gonna go to sleep.
Did you?
And
Who'd
so
you sit next to?
I think it might have.
Don't even remember.
I don't.
So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I'll just all I know is I had a window seat. I remember looking out the window, putting my head on the window, then I was asleep.
Man, you did good then.
Yeah, I was.
The worst is flying, you know, economy class on those 12-hour flights, and you just stuck there in the window. I was on one when I went to Africa, and I was thankfully I had an aisle seat and I could stick my leg out just a little bit further. But I would imagine some of you guys who are real tall, you know, like I didn't have to worry about the real estate behind the seat like you guys.
There was a lot of ear popping. A lot of ear popping.
Yeah.
Like, you know, every time you wake up, you yawn and you feel your ears pop.
Yeah. So what was the game like over there? Did you have to play a different style of basketball, or you just y'all played like you play here and go for it?
Yeah, we played our Austin Peay hard. You know, we gonna pick up full court. We're gonna change our schemes up, and we gonna fight.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight. And so that's what we went out there and did. I mean, we went out there, battled, and we for sure got a lot better. So.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys had a lot of team building. That's not on the court.
We did.
Doing an experience like that.
We went out and made some food. I think they were called Popeyes or something like that. I don't like papillas or
not
like
Popeyes,
that.
right?
No, not Popeyes.
Like you would have known what that was.
Right. It was like some type of rice and and it was crazy because we did do a lot of team bonding stuff. We even did it with, we did it with the president, we did it with Gerald, we did it with some parents, we did it with some players. And some of the teams were mixed with players, parents, and stuff like that. So we had a great time though. Man,
that's really exciting. Well, you guys are started into your season now. I think you guys have played 9 games so far. What are you looking forward to as the calendar kind of shifts and you guys have gone from out of conference games to now you get into the bulk of your schedule where like these games really start to matter towards conference seeding and things like that. You know, what are you guys thinking as you try to make that transition?
I mean, I think the main thing, just keep fighting, keep going out there battling every single game, play our hearts out. But I do think that, as the game get going, I think we just gotta lock in more on just staying together. Yeah. I think that's the main thing. We have a little slippage every now and then, but like as time come on, we're doing a lot of stuff together. So I think our team chemistry right now is good. Yeah. But if we want to take this next hump, like I said in March, and make that run. We just gotta tighten a little bit. Tighten some screws up.
Yeah, well, I know you guys can do it.
For sure.
College basketball is weird. Do you get to go home for the holidays? Will you see your family at Christmas at all?
We get to go home for a couple of days
Okay.
after the Vanderbilt game. So,
okay.
Yep, and then we return back and get right back to it.
Right back to it. What's Christmas look like? Do you guys play games together as family? Is it telling a bunch of stories, watching movies? What's your household look like?
Yeah, I think
is it crazy?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we do a lot of stuff. We make
Okay.
Like Christmas Eve. I got two little cousins, Isaiah and Ella, and they mean the world to me. So we do I try to stay the night with them.
Okay, that's fun.
And they just worry me. They want to play games all night. My auntie let them stay up.
Okay,
and so they'll stay up and they'll we'll even watch a Christmas movie together. We'll watch a Christmas movie.
We'll let you
try to
pick,
make little hot chocolate drinks and stuff like that. And so,
do they let you pick the movie?
Nope.
Don't know. It's gonna be their choice.
I don't get no pick.
Yep.
They'll
you
pick
watch
it
what
and
they
be
watch.
like, hey, we're watching this. I'm like, okay, well, let's watch it then.
Yeah,
So
that's how it goes.
Yep.
Going home, food is something you always look forward to.
Yeah, of course. My auntie, she throws down.
Does
Both
she?
of my aunties.
Okay.
Yeah, they throw down.
You come back with leftovers?
I try to.
I remember being in college,
be
going to dental school. I was like, man, please cook a meal and send me with all. I'm taking it all. You know.
Right.
Do you guys live on campus or you live off campus?
We got some players that live on campus, but me, I live.
You live off campus.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So yeah, you're not right next to the calf all the time. You need all the leftovers that you can get. All right. So fun questions about the locker room, just the team. For people who care, who's the funniest guy on the team?
They like to say it's me. I don't.
I've heard that. So
I'm not a. I actually am funny, but
yeah,
I don't. I try to give the laugh of the locker room. I try to even the locker room out because sometimes we be so determined on working hard and it's always go
just keep
mode.
It fun.
Sometimes you got to just crack a laugh and be like, man, Coach did just kill us, didn't he?
That's funny.
And so,
can anybody on the team sing?
Anybody on the team can sing.
No, everybody's bad.
We don't have a singer on our team.
No singer on the team.
No.
Yeah. All right. So tell the social media department. Don't do any Christmas
don't
carols
have,
for Austin. Actually, it might make a good Christmas carol. That's an idea right there. We're gonna ask Travis from Ops to go ahead and pass them that idea. Let y'all sing Silent Night in a little melody or something. All right. Best dancer, because I know there's some people who can dance.
We got a couple good dancers. We have a guy that just thinks he know every dance move. Let's say with he thinks he knows how to do every dance move.
He thinks he does, or he does.
He thinks he does.
Okay, fair. Okay.
He tries to do every dance
the
best he can. I'll give him that. He tries it.
Yeah.
He be a little offbeat sometimes. He be a little offbeat.
All right. You get $100 to call someone on your team right now, but they have to answer the phone. Who's going to answer the phone? Who's most likely to actually pick up the phone?
Do I just get one answer for that?
Yeah, who's most likely? You get this.
I would say Quan.
Quan, yeah. This is the Gen Z. My Gen Z team members, they don't want to answer the phone. Like you text them, they'll text back, but they don't want to answer.
Yeah, I would say Quan.
So Quan's your guy. He's a reliable one. If you're in a pinch, that's who you're calling. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We'll leave it at that. That's so funny. All right.
Yep.
Okay, shooting contest, 3-point shooting contest. Who's winning on the team?
Well, we have
sounds competitive.
Yeah, I will put me in there.
Okay.
I will put Isaac Haney in there, and I will put Takeo Carpenter in there.
Wow. So just compete it out.
Mm-hmm. And we all wait. And one more. I'll probably say Terrell Gaines.
Okay.
He's a pretty good shooter too.
Who inspires the team in a competitive way? Like, who do you feel like gives the team the energy during the game, like never give up mentality?
Isaac Haney.
Yeah.
He always and I play AAU with Isaac Haney.
Really?
So yeah.
On the same team or
on
just
the
like
same
against
team
them?
In high school.
Okay.
One state championship together.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
So
that's wild.
One state championship together.
Did you know he was coming here when you committed to Coach Gipson, or did he come after that?
He also gave me a call.
Okay.
When I answered transfer portal. So he was already here and stuff.
Okay.
And so he was one of the ones that gave me a call.
That's cool.
Like, hey, let's run this thing back. And so
yeah, that's awesome.
Why not?
All right. Yeah. Last question. For someone who's not been to a game at F&M Arena, hasn't seen you guys play, but lives here and enjoys basketball, or the kids play basketball or something right now, what would be your pitch to them to come give you guys a shot? Come check you out, come watch you play. What can they expect from Austin Peay men's basketball?
We're going to give 1,000% effort. We're going to have some fun. And I know for a fact we're going to battle. So if that's what you guys into, please come out. And more than anything, we have a culture that's just unbelievable, and you guys will for sure enjoy to watch it. Man,
that's a blessing. Anton, it's an inspiration to meet you. You are an incredibly talented young man. You got a really bright future. I hope you see in yourself what I can see, and that's unlimited potential. Like someone to be able to come in here and communicate the way that you do and have a grounding, a maturity about yourself the way that you have. I'm really excited to watch what life's got in plan for you, because you're going to knock it out of the park.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, thanks for making it to the end of this episode. I know that you've been encouraged, inspired, heard good stories from our guest today. If you like this episode and you want to find some more, there's great Austin Peay episodes in our past history, but also business leaders and community people from all over our community who make this place the greatest place to live in America. Thanks for checking us out. I'm Kevin Kennedy Jr. We will see you on the next episode.